Hope you are all doing fine and well. Please take care of you, your family and friends during this pandemic. Always follow Government of India rules and regulations and also get vaccinated. So today in this week's topics, I'm going to cover about Middle East, Iran presidential election, its effect to world and India. Secondly, President Joe Biden and President Putin's summit. Then food shortage in North Korea. See, happenings in Middle East is very important to the world as world has been dependent on oil. So for India, 71.2% of oil according to July 2020 comes from Middle East. So peace, security and no tensions in Middle East is good for India as free flow of oil reserves there without any sanctions or without any conflicts or without any disturbances will not have any impact on supply chain and also price fluctuations. In the election which was held on 18 June 2021, it was the 13th election since the establishment of Islamic Republic of Iran from 1979, Revolutionary Guards. So in the election, Ebrahim Raisi, 60, got 17.8 million votes. He was the candidate of Ayatollah Khamenei, who is already 82 years old. So it is said that Ebrahim Raisi is seen as the future successor of him because Ayatollah Khamenei, he controls everything in Iran. So he is normally his successor. From the opposition, Mason Rezai gets 3.5 million votes and Abdullah Nasser Imanti 2.4 million votes and others got 1 million like that. So the elections were very much questioned by former President Mohammad Amjadani and the present President Hassan Rouhani because they were not made to contest the election and they were disqualified. And many times it was alleged that the chief of some army staff was saying not to, some people were saying that please don't go and vote. And also we came to know that Doctors Without Any journalist, there were some issues in that also. So now the question was, many journalists nearly were made not to write anything, or they were imprisoned, or elections were not, many people, the winning candidates were disqualified, people were not given importance. But why this particular presidential election was important to the India and the world was, because now Iran and US was talking in Vienna to end the sanctions and to revamp the nuclear agreement which President Obama and Iran had signed. So they are doing the backtalk diplomacy so that the sanctions will be removed, and secondly economic development will happen and investments will flow. So this can have a very big check on countries like China which want to invest, take advantage of their sanctions and invest money and also control resources in Iran. Secondly, Iran is improving relations with Saudi Arabia. This can stop many proxy wars what they are fighting in Yemen to Sahel region or Syria or anywhere else. So, like this type of stance plus American troops withdrawal and NATO troops withdrawal from Afghanistan will always have effect on will affect and influence on this region. So how it will affect India is having that Chabahar Zadin railway line. Only if the sanctions are removed, everything, and if the Iranian economy is growing, everything will get fruitful. So India wants a nuclear, non-nuclear, a developing and a free Iran without any sanctions, without any hindrance, and we don't want any proxy war or any conflict of Iran with other countries, so that it can concentrate on its economic development, democracy and future orientation, so that there can be peace and tranquility. See, Iran and India's relation is civilizational. So, happenings in Middle East, from Yemen to Afghanistan to Sahel or to Syria, everything will be discussed and debated in the foreign establishment in India and also there. So, and the new president, if he goes with the Ayatollah Al Khamenei and sign the agreement of nuclear with the with America, and peace is established there, it will be great. Otherwise, Iran will, with many sanctions, Iran will become a pawn with Russia and China dramas. So it will be in threat. So for the future of Iran, the president, whether he's a clerk or a judge or a very hardliner, it is for him to decide and come to the mainstream. Thank you very much. That is number one. So the second thing I will be discussing about the President Joe Biden and President Vladimir Putin's summit meeting. So this meeting was a very big successful, and it was a win-win situation. But only concern was the rhetoric which was built up earlier, killer or something, or it was all tackled. But meeting in person has solved many issues which were having lapse between America and Russia. Most important thing is they have sent their ambassadors to their respective to America and to the Russia, so that a trust, first level of trust has been built. Secondly, Ukraine or even the ransomware or even in the future conflict in Middle East or anywhere else, a direct talk with Russia and US is essential for the establishment of peace. See, the Cold War mentality has to be gone. But only one concern which was not covered in this whole summit was they did not ask for the independent verification of Wuhan virus. Who was responsible for the Wuhan virus and whether the lab leak theory was right or not. That statement did not come from this summit. And thirdly, and secondly, the President of Putin, the opposition leader who has been imprisoned. So in a democracy, the opposition has to be respected and there should be freedom of press all. So with a direct control over the press and control over the opposition, that is not good for the democracy. That has to be checked. So here somewhere, I think US should have taken some bold step, but first they have started negotiation. That's good. Thirdly, climate change, then 6G, 5G, now the 6G research which is going on, and about the China's acts in South China Sea, and Russia itself is facing problem from China as it is claiming Vladivostok to other parts. So these are the things which should have been about the China statement should have been come, but that has not come from them. And lastly, ransomware, then New World Order, that is a multipolar world. And it was good that Putin said they are going to cooperate in Syria and Afghanistan and Middle East things. So US and they should sit, talk and discuss. That will be very good. So lastly, I will be talking about, as I said, about North Korea. North Korea is due to heavy floods last year and last year, and also a lot of incidents this year. Pandemic shutdown, long time, and organized sanctions has crippled their economy. So it is said that their economy is crippled more than 10% or more. So even according to the United Nations, everybody has to take minimum 2,100 calories, but North Koreans are eating less than 445 calories. There is a very big shortage of food there, and as it has also shut down its border with China, and their business with China has come down from 2.8 billion to $540 million in 2020. The world has to pay attention for them. So political parties does not matter, Republican or Democratic. It is America's internal affair. But when it comes to international stage, their cooperation, instead of scoring points, if President Joe Biden talks with President Moon Jae-in of South Korea and talks to North Korea, and even if he visits there, have some sort of summit, and bring North Korea also to the mainstream, it will be good for the humanity. Because anybody can't stay in a vacuum thinking about hermit or thinking about sanctity of pureness. That has to go. So this week the world has seen three important happenings. Iran presidential election. Though he is an ordliner, he wants to go with the people. Secondly, Iran, US and Russia summit. So though they tried to score a point, but the ultimate thing was they have to save the succeeding generation from the scourge of war. They have to end nuclear weapons, and they have to sit and talk, and they have to find out new way of medicines. And their cooperation is very much necessary from Middle East to Europe to Africa. Their cooperation is essential, not the Cold War mentality. And very important is China is celebrating very soon, July, 100 years of the establishment of communist rule. But how far that rule will have a profound effect on the world, the Confucian authority in military government, how it is giving a threat to small, medium and island countries, what will be the future, has to be seen by both of the countries. Though Russia is trusting more China, but it has also to evaluate what is the relationship and how they are going to gain and who is gaining in that. So a peaceful world is very much necessary for international economy. But China always wants some sanctions on Iran or Russia or anywhere else, so that they can take advantage. They can talk to military authority and rulers throughout the world and can have influence. That has to be checked and that has to be seen. For now, North Korea needs, there is a food crisis, and the world has to, World Food Program or UN or the US, everybody should help them in a big way. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.